Polyfusion welding is a method of connecting plastic piping systems which creates a homogeneous connection stronger than the pipe itself. The instruction film will show you how best to achieve this. The ecoplastic pipes are connected together by socket couplings or fittings. The internal diameter of the socket corresponds to the external diameter of the pipe within relevant amount of tolerance. When using pipes and fittings manufactured according to international standards, it is not possible to insert the pipe into fitting without first heating. Polyfusion pin or mirror welding machines are used for connecting. Mirror welders provide better heat transfer, which is important mainly for profiles over 40 mm. The welder for polyfusion welding consists of a heating pin or heating area, mirror welder, control part with regulator for setting temperature, handle and lead cable. Electric welders are further equipped with a regulation for setting the time and a diode for checking connection, heating and time. Welding of smaller diameters can be easily carried out by hand. To weld large diameters, it is suitable to use an assembly jig. It is recommended that larger diameters are welded in a workshop. For joining prepared parts on a building site, it is best to use electrofusion sockets. The welder must be set to 260 degrees Celsius with a tolerance of plus or minus 10 degrees Celsius and plugged in. We wait for the welder to heat up to the required temperature, and we check the temperature with a contact or non-contact thermometer. Before welding the ecoplastic system, we check the correct functioning of the scissors or cutting wheel on the pipe endings. The external diameter must not be deformed during separation. We carefully examine the material to be used for any depressions, hollows or dishing, or for any contamination or damage caused during transport and storage. We measure the necessary length of pipe and cut it off. Potential burrs at the edge of the pipe must be cleaned. It is recommended that pipes with a diameter of 50 mm or more have their outer edge butted and with a special agent to an angle of 30 to 45 degrees, as this will prevent so-called material sweeping. Depth of pipe insertion into the fitting is according to given standards depending on the diameter and marked on the pipe. After a certain period of polyfusion welding, we can set the depth of insertion precisely even without marking. When joining ecoplastic Starby pipes, it is not necessary to mark the depth of insertion into the shaped piece. Before welding, remove the plastic surface layer and aluminium middle layer with the cutter, evenly along the required length while retaining the prescribed diameter for welding. It should not be possible to put the fitting on the prepared pipe without heating. If this were the case, then it would not be the right fit for welding. On the pipe endings to be welded, especially for higher diameters, we recommend removing the oxidized layer of plastic, which is approximately 0.1 mm. The cut endings of the pipe have to be degreased. The internal surface of the fitting must also be degreased. A fitting is put on an adapter and a pipe is inserted into the heating adapter. Both parts are heated for the period determined according to the profile. After the period of heating has elapsed, we remove the fitting and pipe from the adapters. The connection is carried out thus. Without rotating, the pipe is inserted into the fitting sleeve using slow, direct pressure in an axial direction. Then we have approximately 5 seconds for potential correction. A fresh connection takes about 20 to 30 seconds to set when it is partly cooled. After this period, the joint will not allow for any change of the fitting position onto the pipe. This is how a good quality joint in the Ecoplastic system looks from the outside and also from the inside. Full load can be placed on the joint after full cooling, which depending on the surrounding conditions takes about 1 hour. One particular area of polyfusion welding is repair of PPR plumbing. The repair kit supplied by our company is intended for repairing drilled polypropylene pipes from a diameter of 20 mm and over. It comprises of a collar and a plug for welding up the aperture of the pipe. The repairing set works on the principle of polyfusion welding, except the special collar is designed for a specific application. For heating, it is possible to use all types of pin welding machines. Onto the welder we fasten the special welding collars, which are the same for repairing all diameters of piping. A spacer ring on the heating plug prevents the plug from moving out during heating according to the wall thickness of the pierced pipe. The welding machine is then heated. We recommend leaving it to heat for at least 1 heating cycle. After heating, the temperature of the collar is checked. It is necessary to prepare the puncture hole with a 10 mm drill. The edges of this regular sized hole are then cleaned off. If we are preparing Starby pipes, the internal and external aluminium layer around the hole should be removed with a knife. The depth of the repair plug is measured and marked according to the wall thickness of the pipe to be repaired, plus 2 mm and the spacer ring set accordingly. During working, it is very important that the contact surfaces of the repair plug and the hole are dry and grease-free. For drying, we use a cloth or tissue, and for degreasing, a special cloth or tissue soaked in a degreasing agent. By means of the collar, the hole and the repair plug are heated for 5 seconds. This forms a fused shoulder, just as with normal polyfusion welding. Without twisting, we push the heated plug into the heated aperture. The fusible inserted plug must be held at the right depth according to the markings so as not to cause narrowing or blockage of the repaired pipe. After cooling, the remaining part of the repair plug is trimmed off with pipe cutter, shear, pliers or file. The pressure test is then carried out as with polyfusion joints. Now all that remains is to finish repairing the small amount of damaged surface area. The Wavin Ecoplastic repairing kit can be bought separately or now as part of a complete installation set. Full load can be placed on the joint after full cooling, which depending on the surrounding conditions takes about 1 hour. Simple, practical, reliable, consistent and at a reasonable price. Plastic distribution systems from the firm Wavin Ecoplastic.